Good morning. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of August. I'm in Ludhiana. All the newspapers today lead with the unfortunate death of the protesting farmer in Mansa. This is where India Bulls is proposing to set up a power plant. Captain Saab made a statement yesterday that the power plant had been, the agreement had been reached without proper tendering, and that the incoming government would review that contract. It's very sad that farmers weren't consulted fully. It's very sad that this government wishes to arrest so many farmers, and now we have a very tragic event that one of the farmers has now died as a result of a police lathi charge. The thing that surprises me about this story is the political risk that the Badal family are taking. This is the fag end of a administration. By popular consensus, there is going to be a change of government early next year. This land, if acquired, and if the project is executed on time, is not going to generate any power for a number of years yet, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Why would the Badal family be taking this political risk at this moment in time? There doesn't appear to be any obvious political benefit for them. They are certainly not going to gain votes just by acquiring 800 odd acres of land. It begs the question, what is there for the Badal family that they have to take such a political risk? Anybody else in their shoes would simply have said, leave this for the next administration to resolve. It's for the people out there to answer the question, why are the Badals taking the risk? Come on to the IT park at Rajpura. The government announced it with great fanfare in 2009. 1,400 acres of land was acquired. Now what do we hear? The project has been shelved. Now if you think back, this has been a consistent feature of this administration. Projects get announced, land gets acquired, and all of a sudden nothing happens. Now 1,400 acres in Rajpura were meant for Knowledge City. Companies operated in the knowledge sphere, the publishing sphere, the IT sphere, and the IT-enabled services sphere. Those are the companies that were actually meant to come and occupy these sites. I doubt whether any of these companies was ever approached. Most of these projects are announced as a guise, as a sham to acquire large land banks. Vested interests want land, so they portray it as a project. They then get the project cancelled, and now the vested interests behind this project are the proud owners of a contiguous plot of 1,400 acres. Without the government's cooperation and without the government's facilitation, such large land masses simply cannot be consolidated. I doubt whether there was any sincerity, whether there was ever any sincerity behind this project. On to the arrest of SP Detective Ashapur, Rundhir Singh Uppal. That comes hot on the heels of the arrest by the CBI of the lady DSP who was in Mohali Police District. And prior to that, there were other recent actions. It really begs the question that if this is the type of activity, now I don't wish to pass judgment on any of these individuals because clearly there is a process involved, but we all know that a lot of the criminality in Punjab is actually initiated by the police. We all know that a lot of the criminals in Punjab are actually protected by the police. It's tragic. This system must change. If law and order is to be maintained in letter and spirit, then the right political direction needs to come from above. Sadly, this government has used the Punjab police as their political tool. They use them to win local elections, be it corporation elections, be it panchayat elections. They have allowed their officials, their jathedars, to give direct directions to the SHOs and to the DSP and to the senior officers. When you start interfering with the police to that extent, how can you expect law and order to be maintained? Let's now come on to the delegation from Leicester, a city in the UK. which is visiting Ludhiana. They come to Ludhiana, they come to understand the problems of Ludhiana, and what do they get presented? They get presented the better parts of Ludhiana. They say, we haven't come to see this, show us representative section of Ludhiana, which they didn't. They go to see the Lakkad Bridge, and they're actually shocked by project management there. They can't understand why these type of projects get delayed. An article in the Times of India about the aero bridges at the Chandigarh airport. One of the first things that I did when I became an MLA is I made a plea that there should be a joint airport project. At that time, I made a pitch for Himachal to be included, and the then leader of the opposition, now Chief Minister of Himachal, wrote back to me, and he said, yes, I agree with this idea. Ultimately, it proceeded as a two-state Punjab-Haryana joint venture. The story now is that the aero bridges, which are used to connect to the larger aircraft, are going to be ready in about 8 months' time. I've been through the new airport. It's quite nice. Small, probably big enough though. The aero bridges, once they're built, will allow larger aircraft to come in. I look forward to the day when this airport becomes operational. For international flights, we thought that they would happen much earlier. It now looks that it's going to be a little bit delayed. When international flights start to Chandigarh, I think it's going to be a big success. I expect flights to arrive directly in Chandigarh from the UK, possibly from North America as well. That's it for today, and we'll be back to you very soon. Thank you so much. Goodbye.